The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast. What a week it's been here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and area. We've had pack racing 3-4 wide, all into oblivion here, as we've seen some photo finishes, we've seen 14 cautions, we've seen tempers, and we've seen some great racing. I think we'll have a combination of all of that here today as we take the O'Reilly stock cars here for the Florida Estate Builders Pro Series. Who will get lucky in the casino and who will be going home broke, we'll find out in about 2 hours' time here as the Florida Estate Builders Pro Series takes to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the WWE 200. Gonna be myself, Corey Silva, in the booth and in the truck. Hunter Sleppy, as always, helping me out with all of the commentary here. So Hunter, a lot of stuff going on here at Las Vegas. Tuesday saw 14 cautions in the trucks, but these O'Reilly cars are different beasts, and I expect these guys to be sliding and struggling here in the desert.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun race to see. We've had 4-wide racing in the Cup Series. We've had a photo finish in the Truck Series. I'm looking forward to seeing if anyone can dethrone Sebastian Marin. He's won the first 2 races of the season, looking to make it a 3-peat. So we've got qualifying going on, less than 3 minutes remaining. Currently, the fastest time is James Skyley in the 7th.
Now, actually, on that point of Sebastian Marin, I don't know if this came across your radar there, Hunter, as Peyton Howell temporarily going top of the board. He actually had a hardware failure at the end of the Truck Series race the other day, and an issue with his pedal spring, basically had to pull out of that race at the very end, and I don't see him on the pylon here today unless I am misreading it. So the body shop there still has a little bit of work to do, apparently.
Yeah, that was unfortunate the other night because it seemed like he dominated, well, shouldn't say dominated, but he had to overcome so many obstacles in the Cup race just to get in the winning position. It seemed like it was his race to lose, and unfortunately, a mechanical issue, not in the sim, but on the actual sim itself. So if he's not in the field, then that 3-peat is no longer up for grabs, and the field is open for anyone to dethrone Sebastian Marin's reign on the Pro Series so far. John Hall, the 24 car, 13th. Jonathan Evans, currently the pole sitter. That'd be a pretty shocking turn of events. Didn't think he'd be on anyone's radar for tonight, but looking to put the whole field on notice. Jeff Wright trying to overcome some difficulties there in 20th.
Yep, he is one of the few left on the track. Here's Josh Adams in the 22, and this lap is certainly not going to make him overly happy here down there in the 31s. But as he wraps up qualifying here, of course, we want to thank everyone who is here with us on PTR TV. We have solved the issues that did bug us the other day, but if you're watching here on YouTube, again, subscribe. We just eclipsed 2,000 subs, which we are so appreciative of. And if you're watching on Twitch, consider subscribing. $5 a month, get your custom emotes, earn your points that you can redeem for discounted or free merch in due course. And as you can tell on the bottom right of your display, we do have the WWE ticker down there, and that kind of will account for the goals that we are trying to achieve there to help out the league and achieve those goals with that WWE game. There is a QR code, and when that comes up, you can scan it, you can download the game, and you can work your way through, and we'll talk about that later in the show here. But again, 3 races in, Hunter, and as I was talking about the other day, you weren't here for it, but this is road course week coming up next race. So for a lot of these drivers, they're really going to want to have a good run now, because not everybody likes to turn right and left.
Yeah, especially on the road courses of Sonoma, then I believe Portland for the Pro Series. That's going to be a really interesting one because we haven't been to Portland at all, fairly new to the sim. Sonoma, it's been a while, I want to say, for Cup and Truck, but nonetheless, a good challenge nonetheless for these fellow drivers as qualifying is wrapped up. You guys will have a couple minutes to warm up and get acclimated to their tires and their feel of the race car.
As we continue our West Coast swing, as you said, next week, and Sonoma in Cup and Truck, but we'll be going to Portland here, as you said, so got to keep that momentum going. Some guys will take advantage of it, but you always want to take advantage of the bread and butter tracks. Here's Connor Horn on the screen right here. He had a great run to start in the Truck Series race the other day, but that did not continue as a lot of drivers their race either got substantially better or substantially worse with each going lap. So we'll see how things do trend here today. Of course, our cameras here that you see brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. You can go to their Facebook page and eventually get to their Discord where the juicy stuff is. We'll talk to Andrew, get yourself a deal, get yourself some cool cameras. But we have a full field there, Brad. I just called you Brad. I haven't done that in a while, Hunter.
That's okay. We look alike.
Yeah. I don't even know what you look like, so I wouldn't even know. But nobody's going home here today, so we do have everybody starting the race. We do, however, have a couple penalties to discuss. That may I have caught you off guard.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the similarities between me and Brad, but yeah, we have a few guys with EOLs and then one driver with a drive-through. The 71, the 30, and the 07 will have EOLs, and then the number 88 car is going to be the one with the drive-through. The 88 car, Skylar Shackelford, I believe, the one from 609 Motorsports, I want to say. Unless that's been updated. All right. Yeah, he'll be the lucky recipient of going down pit road under the green flag of the race, so that's going to be something that he'll have to overcome, especially at a track like Las Vegas, where we don't usually have too many yellows. Last season, we had a yellow with about 100 laps left in the race, and that was that. We usually only average 1 yellow. Season 2 went caution-free. The latest we've had a yellow in a race is 13 ago. That happened in Season 5.
Those trends of the race where they've been different here this season, Hunter. I know, what was it, Miami, we were told 1 caution, and I think we went well over that. So we've been kind of rewriting the record books, so to speak. Say that 10 times fast. So, but I will take those stats, as you saw, 103 to go in Season 7. I'll take that. But the trends have been saying otherwise in Season 8.
Sorry, yeah, Season 8, it's been a very interesting season. A lot of dominating from Sebastian Marin, but again, if he's not here tonight, then that's going to open the door for a newcomer to possibly come through, get their first win ever in area, or for an old dog like James Scioli. He's won here 3 times. David Weishart's also won here back in Season 2. Other than that, no one else has won here that's in the field tonight, so going to be interesting to see who climbs to the top and who looks to claim their stake in Season 8.
Now, just because we did have someone ask in our chat here that they tried the WWE exclamation chat message that you see right here, take a screenshot. This works on iPhone. I imagine it works on Android because it's better, but screenshot this. You screenshot it, go into your photos folder, your gallery, and then you can click on the QR code from your gallery, get yourself to the link to be able to download game. That is a good way to use QR codes when you are on the same device of which you see the QR code on. And I use an iPhone, but yes, Android is better, but that's a podcast topic. But we are in the last minute here of warm-up. Jonathan Evans backing his great qualifying run-up with the fastest lap here in warm-up. But again, long run pace, short run pace. We'll see how that comes into play as practicing your pit stops. Hopefully that comes into play tonight.
Yeah, that was a big issue Monday night with guys speeding on the pit road and then even overshooting their pit box, because there's a lot of tire wear that goes into it, and you don't want to overslide your stop. Otherwise, you're going to lose valuable time on the track because of your mistakes. And you should be getting ready to go with our starting lineup for tonight's WWE 200 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Also, the same city where, ironically, WrestleMania this weekend is being held. So, not in the sim, but in real life. So maybe these guys will take a quick stroll down to the Raiders Stadium, Allegiant Stadium.
Oh wow, they're in the Big Boy Stadium.
It's a big event, so you need the Big Boy Stadium.
Absolutely the case here, as they do end our warm-up session, and then we will head down trackside for that Central Mobile Homes starting lineup here today. Of course, if you're looking for a new home, a small or a large home, new shed or Triple Crown trailer, look no further than Central Mobile Homes. They've been proudly serving Florida customers for the last 30 years with a plethora of small and large home floor plans, shed designs, and Triple Crown trailers. Available in LaBelle, Okeechobee, Clewiston, and Sebring. Head to centralmobilehomesinc.com, but let's head down trackside for that starting lineup. Jonathan Evans, as we alluded to, going to start this race off from the pinnacle position P1 with Peyton Howell to his outside. P3 will be James Scioli with Connor Horn. He has been doing well in Vegas this week. He'll do it from the 4th spot. Zach Kerr, the Aussie, in 5th with Brian Mercurio in the 6th position. 7th will be Mr. David Weishart, AJ Stravato in 8th. Rounding out the top 10, we got Mr. Justin Bolton and Brad Slaughter with a 36.58.
And on the next row, we'll find Zach Carr starting in the 11th spot. Next to him, Alex Chilcutt in the 60 in 12th. 13th, we'll find John Hall. Alongside him, Philip Groner in the 14th position. 15th, we'll find Josh Parrish in the 71, and next to him in the 30 is Jeremy Miller starting 16th. 17th, we'll find Travis Speckner in the 27, and alongside him, Garrett Conrath in the 49 starting 18th. And rounding out our top 20, Justin Opplinger 19th in the 96, and alongside him, Jeff Wright in the 48 in P20.
Lucas Lodoto in 21st. Skylar Shackelford, just talked about him having that drive-through. He is in 22nd. Timmy Pacioli in 23rd. He's not had the best start to the season. Maybe it gets better here today. Sebastian Miller here in 24th. Not Sebastian Marin, easily to get confused. Alan Elwood in 25th. Jared Skinner, Peoria, Illinois. It's starting off for that. Carry on. Ben Pierce in 27th, Kyle Taub in 28th. 29th is Gabe Herschel and Casey Lakatos in 30th.
And 31st, it's Hunter Sr. 32nd, Jackson Hartman. 33rd, it's Forrest Smith, who came up oh so close in Tuesday night's truck race. Looking to avenge that. Next to him, Ryan Swan in the 54. Also with a top 5 finish in the truck race. Donald Kite, 35th. This name still kind of messes me up a little bit. I'll have to get that sorted out. But he starts 36th. 37th is Jake Nichols, surprisingly. He'll have a long way to go through the field. Josh Adams, 38th, I want to say. There's one of the things is a little messed up on
we're missing a driver here, but you know, with the EOLs and stuff, the last drivers are usually a little out of sync, but we'll let that play through. And drinking an iced tea, Hunter. I'm drinking a Spindrift iced tea, but I swear the way it's making me feel makes me think that they accidentally put something in there. But we're all good in that capacity. We'll pop up our sponsor again on the bottom right of the display, that WWE sponsorship. Let's actually... No, that's going to interfere with some of my graphics, so we'll have to be dynamic with that. Our weather conditions here today, we'll have to turn that back off, turn it back on. Our weather conditions here today, 73 air and 105 on the track, so a little warmer than the prior race here on Tuesday, but a little bit cooler track temperature than we've been seeing here this season.
I'd say it's been about, 20 degrees cooler than what we saw Monday. Monday, I think it was 125, 128, I want to say. It was very hot, very slick, but you can run multiple grooves here. You can run the middle, you can run the bottom, you can run the top, you can run all the way near the wall. We really won't see that in 1 and 2 unless it's on a restart. I do want to clarify that because Monday they went 4 wide immediately and had all the lanes blocked. So on the restart and the initial start, that is possible. But during the race, if we see that, that usually is a telltale sign that there's a wreck that's about to occur.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen actually, I'm going to counter you, Hunter, believe it or not. I think the outside actually works better in 1 and 2. Because remember how bumpy the inside lane is here. The top is a lot smoother. We didn't see the outside work as well in the trucks on Tuesday, but that's mainly because of their lower power. But these Nopes cars, as we're still getting used to calling them, again, the hardest to drive on the service, basically the highest horsepower, smallest wheelbase. They'll be made in these cars around, so we'll see where they go. I don't expect to see the pack racing we have been seeing. I expect to see it maybe for 5 to 10 laps, but I think the driver is really going to come to play, and we'll see how that tire fall off comes with our 4 sets of tires that we do have available. And to say Tuesday night, Hunter, we needed all 3 of those green-white checkers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll be needing any tonight. I've only had, I believe, 1 overtime finish. Actually, no, we haven't had any overtime finish here. So if we did have one, that'd be a first, but nonetheless, we're going to see the green flag fly in just a moment. Pace car is going to make the hard left turn on the pit road. To the inside, it's Jonathan Evans. To the outside, it's Peyton Howell with 40 hungry drivers behind him, looking to get their first win of the season. The green flag's flying. We're underway from Las Vegas.
On the loud pedal, and Peyton Howell got a good jump on the outside lane, but now he's going to have to fend off into the corner on that outside lane. See how well it works. Thus far, not quite. Somebody all the way ripping the third lane up there, but coming off the corner, that outside momentum from that greater degree of banking working for the 52 heading into 3.
And trying to clear before going into 3, and it's still going to be a side-by-side battle off of 4 with Evans to the inside, Howell on the outside. It's going to be a photo finish to lead the first lap. Barely Peyton Howell with James Scully right behind lurking, and behind them see some 3-wide action going into turn 1.
Saw some drivers going down to the flat. That was the 96 of Opplinger going down to the flat. Here's that 3-wide. Here's that 4-wide. But the difference here is these cars are very aero sensitive. Drivers getting used to that. So I don't know how well they want to be in these positions. Are we looking 4-wide for a brief moment? 97 car, Zach Carr in the mix as well. Now in the sucker hole, that's the 23 of Lucas Lodoto.
Well, no surprise that one of the cars on the outside is Travis Beckner. It seemed like Monday night, no matter what he did, he hit the wall. He was still fast, and Peyton Howell was fast. He just reclaimed the lead, and there's the 88 car, Skylar Shackelford, coming out of the pit road again. He had the drive-through penalty under green. He's not fully up to speed yet, so he's going to be a thorn in the side of some people as they're almost looking 4 wide behind him. And that's right around where the 5th position's up for grabs.
Yes, it is. They did get down to a measly 3 wide to be able to deal with that situation, as he will blend out and just hope for a caution that he's not involved in so that he can get that lucky dog. You can see Brian Mercurio there in that 5th position here. He's right behind Connor Horn, and he was super quick on Tuesday, still super quick here today. We'll see which direction that number 88 tends to fall. And the multiple lines coming in as the 82 right to the back bumper of Connor Horn there, looking to try to get him arrow loose perhaps.
Yeah, Brian Mercurio inside the top 5, trying to hold that 5th spot. Zachary Kerr in the 66 car looking to the inside. He'll have the door slammed shut on him and running smoothly in the 6th spot. Mentioned Weishart is in 7th, and behind him the side-by-side battle, but not for position because AJ Stravato is door-to-door with a lap car, and Skylar Shackelford again came off pit roads, kind of merged into this top 10 battle, and currently in the thorn of Justin Opplinger.
And that's just cutting off his clean air, putting that dirty air on the nose. And, you know, Skylar, he wants to stay as close to the front as possible. He doesn't want to be in the hornet's nest because, again, if something does happen, he doesn't want to be involved in it because that will obviously interfere with the rest of his race and his lucky dog eligibility here. Justin Opplinger, front tire changer in the Craftsman Truck Series. That's news to me, and pretty impressive at age 21 to be doing that. So kudos to him here, as again he's doing the best he can here in that 10th spot, going to the bottom, trying to get around that 88.
It is an off week for the Truck Series. It's only the Nopes and the Cups at Kansas this week, so good reason to unwind in the off week and enjoy some racing. Meanwhile, up in the top 5, Connor Horn in the 67, going to the outside of Mercurio. Mercurio going to drive it deep into 3. Try to clear him off of 4, but Connor Horn not going to make it easy on the exit. He's still going to be along his quarter panel. and will continue to fight, and Payne Howell will continue to lead with James Skyley behind. To mention, he's finished first 3 times at this track, looking to have an unprecedented 4th win at this motor speedway.
And while this is going on, well, we're still 3 wide. There is a point I want to get to, but I do want to watch this racing here. Justin Bolton involved. Timmy Pacioli, who just needs something good to go his way. Garrett Conrath and that 23, Lucas Lodoto. He is just the one who's been the meat in the sandwich every single time we watch. There's Brad Slaughter. He was always one to rip the high lane, both at Miami and in the other races this week. And there he goes, trying to use it, but again, doesn't seem as advantageous, at least at this early stage in the race.
Indeed, and one driver I'm trying to find, he's in 32nd right now, Jake Nichols, and we mentioned it, did not have a good qualifying effort. I'm not even sure he actually put a lap down, but regardless, he has to come from the back to the front. Kind of reminiscent of what we saw Sebastian Baron do Monday night, but unfortunate circumstances hit his part, so we don't want the same to happen to Jake Nichols, but it'll be interesting how he navigates his way through, only up a handful of positions. But tire wear is going to be a major concern on the longer runs, and Jake Nichols is one that knows how to save his tires and use it whenever it matters most. So I think in the next 10 laps we'll see that 73 continue to climb exponentially through the running board. Meanwhile, some positions are being swapped here. John Hall is there in the top 5, looking to get around Mercurio for 4th, and can't quite clear. He's going to get a little loose. Mercurio going to drive back on the outside.
Now Mercurio, I think it was Miami, said that he was really working on that long run pace, and it was working quite well. Unfortunately for him, Sebastian Marin was just doing it better than everybody else. So we already are seeing a massive amount of fall off just in 11 laps. Let's reference it with our leader who's in the clean air. This is even on an iRacing standard, this is some of the craziest fall off I remember seeing, almost down a second in just 11 laps. Now we'll see if that progresses or whether it plateaus, but that just goes to show the tire saving will be critical. As here comes Scioli and Hall. Hall is just seeming to really put the power down now. He's going to the top, and he's going to get around Scioli with some momentum maybe to go and get Evans as well.
Yeah, very close racing here, as to the outside, Evans looking around the 52 of Payton Howell, trying to apply some pressure because he knows that 24 is fast and closing in quick. Howell's going to slide up and get back in front of the 26, and they're still door-to-door behind, but you can fit almost this whole top 10 under a blanket. They're all within a second of each other, close nose and tail racing. Some are running inside, some are running outside, like the 24 of John Hall. Again, getting that run on next as Mercurio gets loose behind. Going to lose a spot to Zach Kerr.
And he's falling back, but it's good to see that the cars are loose. I do feel like we see better racing as a whole when the cars are free than when they are tight. Now, it's a lot, more dangerous to drive, a lot more on edge to drive, but I just feel like we tend to see a little bit more passing and variance when these drivers are fighting free. But Mercurio going up there into that lesser run pavement, it's going to be a little cooler, sometimes provides you a little bit more grip there, as Connor Horn trying to peek to the right rear of Scioli off of 4, see if he can make that outside work through 1 and 2.
Yeah, Connor Horn looking to stop the bleeding. He's dropped 3 or 4 spots since the start of this one, him and Skyler, so they're both trying to stop the bleeding. Meanwhile, for the lead, Evans looking to the inside, and to the outside, it's Payne Howell getting the run, and behind him, that 24, actually no, that 66 of Zach Kerr is coming through. Thought John Hall was flying, but the 66 has found something else, and he's going to second. And before long, if Payne Howell doesn't react, he's going to take the lead.
Yeah, he just about went Bob's your uncle 2 for 1 there through 3 and 4. He's finding something there. That Aussie special and that number 66, Zach Kerr, finding it here in Las Vegas. Because this is that point there, Hunter, where 15, 17, 20 laps in, that's where the comers and goers tends to really start to shake out, where the drivers who did save will persevere, and the drivers who maybe came out of the gun too hot will start their slow demise.
Yeah, I'm looking on the leaderboard right here. Skyley's down 6 spots since the start of this one. Weishart 7. Justin Bolton down 7. And then some guys continue to make their way up through the field. Jared Skinner up 8 spots. Jackson Hartman up 10. Forrest Smith is up 9. Brad Slaughter is actually down 13 spots since the start of this one. And Jake Nichols up 11 spots since the start of this one. So you mentioned it. The comers and goers were at over a second to fall off with the tire wear. So the cream's starting to rise to the top for those that are managing their tire as well.
And speaking of to the top there, just saw Jake Nichols literally running the fence line, which, again, we haven't seen it too much today as he gets to the outside of Casey Lickatoes there in that number 50. And, you know, someone has to do it. In the real world, they'd always say it's old Mikey. Mikey Waltrip was the one that dusted off the high line for everybody else. Seems like today it's going to be Jake Nichols as he works on his climb to the front. But now look at Mercurio. I just saw him going up to P3 as he gets around John Hall. So maybe Mercurio, maybe he's one of those comers to be. And we saw it at Miami. Kind of a similar boat here today at Vegas.
Yeah. Sitting good in third right now. He's got a lot of guys behind there wanting to get around him, and one of those being the 26 of Jonathan Evans, who's inside. We're on board with him. Alex Chilcutt and the number 60. He's up 5 spots since the start of this one. And the yellow is out on lap 19.
We'll see what has put us astray. Scioli. Oh, that wasn't on my bingo card.
That's not good.
Oh, he just got blindsided here, as we'll find out here on our Hendry County replay. 3 wide, that's the 5 to the outside. I think that's Alan Elwood. He was into the wall, and when he came off the wall, he got into Jeff Wright and then eventually into Scioli.
Yeah, those are 2 guys that go way back. Alan Elwood just lost it off of 2 and couldn't quite corral it, and Jeff Wright is a bystander in that. Scioli nowhere to go, just got turned around, and now we're under yellow for the first time on lap 19. That's when the yellow came out, and this will be a good call to see, because it happened, I don't know if it happened on Monday night where someone stayed out. Actually, yeah, it did. Someone stayed out, but I would assume with this car, everybody's going to be coming in to get some fresh tires.
Yeah, it might be a difficult choice to do, again, with only 4 sets on the wall. I would imagine they probably don't want to drive much more than 40 laps, so... But I don't see an alternative right now. It's such a risk to stay out. You'd probably go a lap down within 20 laps with the pace differential. So, yeah, everyone coming on down into the pits. Will we see 2 tires? I don't really see 2 tires being a good call right now. But, again, I haven't been on the wall in quite some time. So, these drivers know better than me. Let's see what they do. Right side's going up, which is what we expect. Somebody, that's Casey, he must just be coming through and then pitting the next time by, I imagine. But yeah, 4 tires, the unanimous decision, as Peyton Howell will get out of his box first. Hopefully for Scioli, not too much damage to repair there, but DJ Stagner and Casey Lakatis will take 1 and 2, but again, I would expect them to pit this time around.
Yeah, it looks like they did about the same thing. They just went down pit lane, they didn't pit, and then they're going to stop in their box this time through. Peyton Howell, Zach Kerr, Brian Mercurio, John Hall, and Connor Horn will be the top 5. And, well, looks like someone took 2 tires. I'm seeing Brad Slaughter, or he might have done fuel only 7 seconds in his box.
I would take that as fuel only. I want to say it's about 8, high 8s, low 9s would be 2. So yeah, I would take this as fuel only, which he's coming down this time by. I was going to say he would be in sure Alicia Keys mode because he would keep on falling there with those old tires. But he'll take it this time by. But again, our race sponsor here today, the WWE 200. Again, when that QR code pops up, give it a screenshot, click on it in the link in your photos folder, download that game. It's WrestleMania season in WWE Champions now, and the game is running a massive in-game event. Brand new superstars, special rewards. WrestleMania month is the best time to jump in because there's more events, more rewards, and limited time content and cool things going on. So again, download that game and you'll help us hit those little goals on the bottom right of our ticker there. I want to thank WWE for popping in here. Again, as Hunter said, WrestleMania right here in Vegas if you're watching us live this week, so that should be fun. But what also will be fun is watching this restart, and Casey did stay out. He is the leader on the outside lane.
Oh, that's one way to lead a lap here, but he will be falling, or free falling, or whatever it is that Alicia Keys does. But
free falling, I think, is a different song. But anyways,
is that Tom Petty?
I believe so.
All right. Regardless, it'll be on the outside though, so those to his inside will be grateful of that. Those behind him, though, not really. Brian Mercurio is going to have a handful, same with Connor Horn, but Peyton Howell, not the control car, but it'll be to the inside of Lakatos as we're back under green flag conditions, and they'll be taking the lead before they get into turn one.
That is a very sumptuous statement there, but it is absolutely correct there. Drives to the bottom, and we saw that 0.9 of a second of fall off that we were already witnessing. And look at Casey, is just not moving. He is basically just a rolling roadblock in front of these drivers now. He's going to go all the way to the top, which as long as they're 2 wide is fine. Hopefully he doesn't come across some 3 wide, because we don't need any Vegas 4 wide this early in the race. He's going to fall out of the top 10 before the end of lap 1.
And his car is loose because of the older tires that he's wearing, so going to be really challenging, especially on a corner exit. Meanwhile, Peyton Howell taking over the lead at the race. Brian Mercurio up to second. Just looking at that back bumper. Meanwhile, Zach Kerr hounding him in third, and then Connor Horn actually to the outside trying to get that third position. Actually fourth, I beg your pardon. John Hall and Alex Chilka giving the push to Connor Horn down the front stretch.
And we will see that come into play. We saw a lot of bump drafting, especially in the truck series, but a little draft does come into play here. Not as much in these Nopes cars, but it's something that does help to get a little bit of a nudge down the straightaway. Going a little bit further back and talking about some drivers, watching some drivers we haven't really talked about in the broadcast. David Weishart, where did he start in this race? He started 14th, so he's -7 on the day. 14th now down to 15th, and he has a wild gaggle of cars behind him. If anything, it looks like he is the holdup right now, as let's go 3 wide just behind.
Oh, they are all over the place with him. Garrett Conrath, and then they're 3 wide behind. Travis Beckner's in the middle of that, and they're wrecking behind him down the backstretch. Looked like it, and yep. Caution's probably going to come out as cars are hitting the wall, and on lap 26, the second yellow of the day is out.
Yeah, Jeremy Miller, we kind of caught most of it live. We'll go through it with a fine-tooth comb here, sort it out, but Jeremy Miller probably took the worst impact on that down the back straightaway. Let's try to find an angle of that here off the corner. Watch that 30 right in the middle. 19 kind of washed up. Not sure if he knew they were 3 wide, and who's that 609 car that just drove in there? That might have been Shackelford. Yes, it was. Do a tighter bloom shot of this.
Cal Talbot the 3 getting a good piece of that.
Yes, watch that 19. Yeah, he just came straight up the track. I don't know if he knew they were 3 wide or if he got loose. And 22, Josh Adams had a pretty good lick in that as well. Stephen Oberstadt.
Yeah, you mentioned the 609 car. I believe that was Skylar Shackelford, I want to say.
Yep.
In the 88. And then the 19, that being Jackson Harmon, coming from bottom up into the group of cars. And it looks like the admins will deem him as fault. There's also going to be some post-race stuff. So that happened on lap 20. Post-race with 3 contact with the 88. So something happened there. Not sure what, but admins will have a good old time looking at that. I know for sure. Peyton Howell is the leader as we are under yellow for the second time today at Las Vegas.
Second yellow of the day. Now Casey Lakatos there is quite grateful for this. It's not really going to amount to anything. Maybe gives him 3 or 4 lap fresher tires than the rest of the field, but he'll be back on the same, numeric set of tires on the wall comparative to the rest of the field. As who is that? That's Drew Farnaz getting his free pass there. But again, our replays here today brought to you by Hendry County Motorsports Park. Racing is back on April 18th. 1,000 to win street stocks, open wheel mods, and more. Tickets $20 for adults, discounted prices for seniors, teens, and kids age 5 and under get in free. See racing at the southernmost dirt track in America in Clewiston, Florida. Go to HenryRacing.com. Mr. Travis Beckner, where is he at today? He was mighty quick in the truck series, but he's relegated to 19th thus far, but still over 100 laps to sort that out.
Yeah, the guy in front of him, Jake Nichols, is up 19 spots since the start of this one, trying to go from the back to the front, and currently is the biggest mover of the race.
Which was, again, no surprise. The surprise is more, why was he in the back? I don't know if maybe there was a technical reason, or in the other room just miscounted the time, or maybe he just wanted to start from the back because he thought it'd be fun. I mean, some people like to do the last to first challenge. I'm not one of them, but some people do. But anyways, Peyton Howell, who has led, I think, all of the laps, less the one that Casey Lakatos led. And Brian Mercurio in the best position he has been in this race. Zach Kerr and John Hall, they have shown some mighty speed. I'm not sure what's in the Yarn Hub camp there, but they clearly have some Vegas magic figured out.
Yeah, and the driver actually doing the last to first challenge tonight is Joseph Swan. He was dead last from qualifying. I'm not sure if time was down or not, but he is 33rd, and behind him, the 7-car James Skiley, which is one of many drivers from Ryan Swan on back in 30th to come down and make an extra pit stop. He had 14 seconds in his box. Not sure if that was set tires or just optional repair that he was getting done for that 7, but regardless, he'll have a long ways to get back inside the top 5 where he was before that first yellow came out.
Yeah, and we'll see if he can get through. We've seen some stretches of good racing here today. We start to get strung out, and then something happens. Let's see if we will get ourselves a good long stretch of racing here in Las Vegas WWE 200. Back under green, taking lap number 30. Great pole shot jump by the 52. Zach Kerr going to try to squeeze second from Mercurio.
That's a thing we'll see all night long. The control car on the restart, they'll usually have a good enough launch to clear themselves by 2 car lengths or so before going into turn 1. It's going to be very crucial later on, but Peyton Howell trying to drive away from Zach Kerr. Brian Mercurio behind in 3rd and to the outside looking for some room. John Hall in the 24. So they're close, really close on exit there. That was Jeff Wright and AJ Stravano almost having contact.
Saw some 3 wide there. I think that may have been Beckner in the middle, if I'm not mistaken, going a little bit further back. No, it's Garrett Conrath. Saw the Hendry County. It's the other one there, Garrett Conrath in the middle. There's still 3 wide contact. 49 down into Weishart. Weishart able to recoup and keep that 29 going the right direction. And that's Pacioli trying to go ring around the outside. This is going to get tied off of 4. I saw Conrath get loose, but it sorted it through.
Making it work and closing in on the 73 of Jake Nichols, who's cracked the top 15. Looking to the outside of Justin Bolton for the 14th spot there, as the 5 of Alan Elwood goes around the outside of the 07 of Gabe Herschel.
Cutting up to the front here, 5th spot for grabs. It's Jonathan Evans to the bottom, Alex Chilcutt in the 60. Not sure where he started on the day. Let's answer that question. He started in the 12th position, up 7 on the day, and he is starting to show some speed here as well. Hendry County Torque Lab on the hood of that car, number 60, as he gets himself into the top 5 and seeing what he can do and what he can muster with those in front. Let's take a look at the lap time, see who's running where on the board right now. And Zach Kerr, who is second, a skosh faster that time by than the race leader. But that flip-flops this time by.
Yeah, Zach Kerr, 26th in the point standings. He had a solid top 10 last week at Homestead, so needing a good runs to continue to get himself closer towards a good spot for a potential championship run. But in the meantime, outside the top 5, or right around the 5th spot, I should say, Alex Chilcutt in the 60, Jonathan Evans below him in 26, almost coming together off of 4. Stravano there, gone to the wall. And then behind the top 5, it's the 48 of Jeff Wright looking to give a run to the outside.
And Jeff riding that Pepsi car, bringing back that Pepsi car for another season here, on board with Lucas Lagodo here. Thought the 48 was going to try to stay and get in the middle there, but chose the better option to be a little patient here. As I called out Chilcutt on making some speed, but now he might start his demise. And who is that in 14th spot? Ripping the outside lane. Jake Nichols has himself in the top third here, and now he can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, in front of him, Connor Horn, Zach Carr, Philip Groner all duking it out for position. Justin Opplinger holding that top 10 spot. And someone is really high back there. Not sure who that was, but someone making an invasive maneuver. A little too aggressive, I might say.
Yeah,
almost on the apron going through the backstretch.
DJ Stabner in the 04, the invasive move all the way down to the bottom. But as long as we stay green, I'm happy with it here. So 37 laps in, up front they are largely singled out, but this is the nature of Las Vegas, that progressive banking where once they single out, they can fan out to their desired lane, and somebody licking the wall. Was that Ladodo? Yeah, that purple car. But these composite bodies, sometimes they take a hit pretty well, sometimes they trickle under the pressure. I think he may get away with that one.
Yeah, well, for now it's all right. Running in the 7th spot. We'll see over the next handful of laps if there's any damage done. As he got close to it again on corner entry. That's not a good sign, but he's going to cut it close again. Would hope he doesn't hit it this time. Car back there hitting it. And
big wiggle.
Some cars taking evasive maneuvers. It was right below a green car, like a little further up the road, I want to say. Can't quite tell who that was, but
it may have been the 19. It may have been Hartman. I just kind of recognize that little bit of a teal lining there on the spoiler. But anyways, again, they continued it, and that continues the trend of what we talked about earlier. We saw Mercurio get loose, and that's just the trend of it. A lot of these setups have been building tight, but we have had now a setup build loose. These drivers have got to be on the wheel. Track temp, I think we were at low 100s. Now we are 109. So track temp going up here as we are in the heat of this virtual Las Vegas day here in the WWE 200. And with 40 cars turning these laps, Hunter, that's just going to make that track temp go up, put some rubber down, and make these drivers have to search for it.
Oh, absolutely. That's the best part about this. You can run any lane you want, and however close you may be, contact Stravato, and I want to say that was Justin Opplinger in the 96.
And look at this fanning out. Connor Horn to the fence, and Jake Nichols. We're going to go on board with him, and I guarantee he's going to, commentators curse me, and then go to the bottom this lap. But he has been running higher than I think anybody on the racetrack right now. He's trying to find that clean air. Who's that right in front of him? I think that's Stravato. But 3 and 4. Oh, Stravato in the fence, down into the 26 of Evans. Evans saves it. Well, let's see if Nichols... All right, he's running high, but he's not ripping the fence. Someone back there in the shot. That's ripping the fence. Can't figure out who that is from a distance, but all those lines in play.
Yeah, the Nichols in the Hornet's nest, and that was actually Evans 2 laps ago, not the 96 of Justin Opplinger, but yeah, kind of real close here, especially with cars getting loose. And
it was Peyton Howell on the fence, I believe.
Exit.
And that's going to open the door for Mercurio, race for the lead.
Another car down the wall back there, but they continue to go. Mercurio trying to get the lead. Howell powering through on the outside lane, being a force to reckon with. He's going to come through and continue to lead this time through. John Hall hoping that door can stay open for a little bit longer and he can close on in, but the door is slammed shut by Howell as he retakes the lead.
Yeah, that was a little bit of wall tap there, and we'll wait to see. Well, you can see them on the ticker. We're now in the 32s, Hunter, and we qualified low 30s. High 30s, I believe, 30.8, 30.9. So now we're down about a second and a half. And, you know, we talk about it on every mile-and-a-half race that we go to. Once you hit that 30 to 35 lap mark as Mercurio down to the inside, these drivers have to make that roll of the dice decision. Is this going to be a green flag race, and do I want a short stop? Because with the fall off we have, there could be massive dividends.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to take that into consideration. Here's Jake Nichols powering through. He's in the top 10 now, and he's trying to get around Lucas Lodoto in the 23 on the outside lane. That's for 9th, and he's going to get a nice run to do just that. Now he'll have his eyes set on Jonathan Evans in the 26 for the 8th spot.
That is just incredible. And what else is incredible is another battle for the lead, another opportunity to seize everything he's ever wanted. Sorry, I just was set up for it. I had no choice but to do it. Mercurio going to the inside. The inside starting to struggle here late in the run. So what's going to happen there? Well, if the inside struggling, I'll go to the top. Unfortunately, Peyton Howell called his bluff there and took the air off and took that line away.
And he continues to lead. The top 3 are actually running away from everybody else. There's a good gap between John Hall and Alex Chilcutt, about 0.7 of a second between the two, as Chilcutt and Kerr duke it out for 4th. Jeff Wright trying to get close on the outside. The 48 car will have a good run down the back. Connor Horn's coming in, same with Jonathan Evans and Jake Nichols. So a little 6-car battle here, all within a second of each other.
Yep, they're spreading out ever so slowly. I mean, the pack is there, but every lap, it just spreads out a little bit more and a little bit more as the struggle goes on here at Las Vegas. The bottom very, very bumpy, as we've talked about. 3 and 4 a lot smoother. So you'll see drivers kind of have a little bit more momentum there. We saw Forrest Smith on Tuesday make an amazing move, almost won that truck race in a photo finish through 3 and 4. But John Hall, he is making surges here, trying to close in on Mercurio. But as we talked about, that 4th battle on back, it is just, it's crazy. And it's basically the whole field. There's no separation between them and about 25th.
Yeah, this is a good old slobber knocker right here for the 4th spot. Chilcutt has it for the moment. Jeff Wright's now in a 3-wide pickle. Connor Horn's up to 5th. Here comes Kerr to the inside. Wright's going to drive it in. Horn up near the wall. Jake Nichols is closing in now, looking to get around Zach Kerr for 7th. Jeff Wright again is going to be 3-wide middle. Horn going low now for 4th. It's absolutely pandemonium behind the top 3 guys.
Yeah, Horn did an amazing crossover move as they both went for the same lane at the same time, Horn and Chilcutt. Luckily able to evade. It's a huge slide from Jeff Wright there through the corner. Slipping on the Pepsi syrup, but manages to regain control. Stuck now in the middle 3-wide. As soon as he gets control, now he's in the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah, he almost lost it there. I'm not sure how he saved it, but that would have been a catastrophic wreck. But he is paying the price for it. He's dropping outside the top 5. He's going to drop outside the top 10 if it continues, but trying to hold it together in 8th with Evans to the outside. Stravato behind on the outside. Jake Nichols now making a move low. They're 3-wide in front of him, actually below him. Jake Nichols is trying to get around. This is just pandemonium 4th on back.
AJ Stravato was squeezing his way to the outside of Alex Chilcutt there, and there you can see, I think that's Garrett Conrath trying to rip the fence, get to the outside of Lodoto, try to get in this mess, and they made contact as well. Lodoto sideways, struggling to even make it through the tri-oval here at Las Vegas.
This is stretching from 4th to about 18th, and they're making the contact in the middle of the corner. Chilcutt right in the middle of that. It's getting tight off of 2, and the conveyor belt just continues to grow longer and longer.
They were peeping at a 4-wide for a brief moment there, but thought better of it. I mean, this is the stuff that we saw the other day in the truck race, but these guys are doing it in way harder conditions and an objectively harder vehicle to drive. It really brings it to the forefront of how difficult this is. But here comes Mercurio with another stab at the bottom, but he's getting woed down there. That bottom lane getting tight. John Hall takes the run from the top, crossover to the bottom of Mercurio. Mercurio may lose a spot trying to gain one.
Yeah, they're over 2 seconds in front of him, and they're going to be 3-wide for the leadoff. Turn 4 with Hall to the inside, Mercurio in the middle, and Peyton Howell going to try to lead it at the line. I think he barely got it, but they're doing all this and still driving away from everybody 4th on back.
Now this might be the money move here, going to that 3rd lane. They're running side by side, slowing up. Mercurio getting loose. Watch this mega run. Mercurio, is he going to block it and take the high lane away? Or is he going to allow him to run it? No, he's going to let John Hall run the top. Not sure if it's going to be as advantageous on this end of the raceway, but And he's going to get a little free himself, but Mercurio can't find the way around, but they are still duking it out here as we're 54 laps into this WWE 200 here at Las Vegas. Again, you can screenshot the QR, download the game, help us out with our goals there for the WWE Champions game on your phone, on Android and iPhone here. But great stuff here as we are getting to that point, Hunter. 33 laps in. We're getting to that decisive point in the race with over 2.5 seconds of fall off. Pardon, 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, fifth on back is like a Royal Rumble of just cars everywhere trying to find a spot in line. 2 wide, 3 wide, even up here. It's a triple threat between Peyton Howell, Brian Mercurio, and John Hall. All three have driven away, and Jake Nichols mentioned that he's fourth. He's kind of stabilized that gap, so they're not pulling away from him as much, but Nichols trying to build a gap from himself to fifth place Connor Horn, because again, they're all over the place, high, middle, and low throughout the turns.
And there's that decisive gap there that you could see between the front and the back, and then everybody else coming on through. Still have 39 drivers on the lead lap, last two being Jeremy Miller and Kyle Tao, both who were involved in that last wreck on the back straightaway. Drew Farnaz 1 lap down, Alan Elwood 7 laps down, and Skylar Shackelford is out of the race. That is our little third race recap here as John Hall taking another stab at it, and now Mercurio taking another stab at it. This may be about the 5th try he's had at the lead. He's struck out 4 times. Will this be the success?
Trying to capitalize on the biggest stage of them all, and Howell to the outside, going to give him a run for his money. Again, John Hall just watching, waiting in the wings, trying to find a good opportunity to strike, but can't really do much other than watch as Howell's going to try and pinch the nose of the 82. He's still going to be there, and Howell's trying to get the run on exit, but Mercurio, stronger exit off turn 4. Maybe this is the time where he'll come through and lead. John Hall right behind Payne Howell. I think Mercurio got it at the line, but again, John Hall really can't do anything right now.
Yeah, that third lane is just not working. But here's a good bit of momentum, and what is he going to do with it? He's going to get to the outside. He's probably going to give a huge shunt to the 52. There was really no other choice he had. But now Mercurio to third, John Hall with a little dive. There goes Peyton Howell running that third lane. I don't know if it's going to work, Hunter, but I think with what I'm seeing, it's almost going to take a Las Vegas slider line to do. We saw it at Homestead, but I think they're going to have to do a slider line. That seems to be the only way to pass.
Yeah, well, they better figure it out quick because Jake Nichols is closing in. Connor Horn is starting to break away from that group and start to close in as well. They are close nose and tail in the top 3, and then behind it looks like they've single filed out for the most part. Stravano tapped the wall a couple laps ago, still running in the 10th spot as we see Nichols in 4th and Kerr and Horn battle it out for 5th.
I did see last time by, well, cut that thought off because they're 3 wide for the race lead. Mercurio has it. Finally, he's made it happen, but John Hall is going to be in the ideal lane off the corner. Can he sneak to the right rear of Mercurio? Answer is yes. Contact off the corner between 24 and 82.
A little train paint, a little bumping heads in between each other around the rings here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. John Hall trying to claim the lead as his own. Mercurio with a strong run on the bottom. Again, not leaving him just yet. Peyton Howell waiting in the wings, all while Jake Nichols is hunting him down. The gap was 2.2 seconds. It's down to 1.3 between Jake Nichols and the leaders.
I'll tell you, if you're Brian Mercurio, you must be fuming at the seams right now because he tried so hard to get the lead, and as soon as he got the lead, basically now he has to be on the defense from that 24 and never really got to enjoy it. But now he may be clear. He will. John Hall may have the crossover line. Will he go low with it? I think he's going to want to go high. Nope, he's going to go low, and let's see if he tries to do a diver.
Going to stay door to door with him going into turn 1. Hall's going to stay to that bottom. Mercurio drives it in. So does Peyton Howell. He'll be, well, he almost was on the outside of Hall. He backed off on the exit. And it looks like just a few seconds up the road, they're going to be approaching lap traffic, something that we haven't seen so far today.
Absolutely. That will be Jeremy Miller and Kyle Taub, who have probably a little bit of damage to report after that last caution, not able to get it fully repaired. But Mercurio survives the challenge and now gets to enjoy the clean air, at least for the time being, because John Hall's not dropping off. But we are 42 laps into the run. We are now basically 1.75 seconds fallen off of our best laps. Who is going to draw first blood? I don't know. But that moment is soon coming. We are just at about the halfway point in this race. This racing has been as hot as Rick's hot sauce. The hot sauce is made in South Florida. Lokahatchee Classic, Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, South Beach Heat. And of course, you can watch the $100 Rookie of the Year Challenge on the Cup Series on Monday nights, rickshotsauce.com. But Peyton Howell finally down to third. Led a lot of laps, but again, it is not over.
No, it is not. You mentioned that pit stop should be on the horizon shortly. I want to note, Brad Slaughter in 14th. He was one of the ones that pitted under that last yellow. He was the highest of those that did come down pit road. He restarted, I believe, back outside the top 30. I want to say 30-30. He's up to 14th now. Him and that is James Scully in the 7. They've made their way back inside the top 20. The 7 is running 18th at the moment. Lap car going to pull out of the way as the top 3 continue to duke it out here in the sun in Las Vegas, with Mercurio leading, Howell running the outside lane, and John Hall keeping it steady on the bottom.
I think Peyton Howell found a new life now, acting like a cat. Has found his second life here late run. He found maybe a line because he got by John Hall, has a ton of momentum. Maybe he's found out how to run that top of the racetrack. It's not really working in 1 and 2, and there is a little bit of science to that. And as I'll talk about it next time by, but the heat of the sun is fully basting down on 3 and 4, making it slicker. I think that's helping that outside lane. But as we come down here, Hunter, through 1 and 2, again, this is the dynamic nature of iRacing. You'll see all those billboards, and as the sun changes its angle, those billboards putting a shadow down. That's putting a little bit less track temp here in 1 and 2. Allows them to have a little more grip.
Yeah, speaking of grip, these lap cars definitely have a grip. Actually, that 5 of Elwood's got more grip. I think he made a pit stop because he's passing him. Jeremy Miller going backwards. The 5, I mean, you can just tell with the newer tires that he's got how much of an advantage it is compared to the 45 or so older lap tires of Brian Mercurio and Peyton Howell. And I do want to give recognition to Jonathan Evans in the 26. He's gone around Jake Nichols, so Zach Kerr. They're both inside the top 5. Over the last handful of laps, Evans has been closing that gap now, about 10th or so. 32.8 across the board from the top 3 last time through. Jonathan Evans with a 32.7. Zach Kerr with a 32.6. So those two guys are closing in on the front 3.
And I remember Zach Kerr on the restart. He was up there in 3rd, and who's that? David Weishart. Has he already made his pit stop? Yes, he has. David Weishart 1 lap down, and I know nothing has happened to him, so we'll pull up his graphic here, and yeah, he pit 10 laps ago, so.
I was just about to say, yeah, he pitted 10 laps ago, so trying to get his lap back the hard way.
Yeah, we're 48 laps into this run right now. 48 laps into this run, so that means he split it up into thirds, and you know these drivers already have a long-term plan. They already have a if this goes green plan, as Weishart again wants to get on that lead lap in case a caution comes out. You don't want to be trapped a lap down and forced to wave. You want to be in position to be naturally with them, but you also don't want to be that guy who bundles up the leaders when you're so much faster.
Yeah, he's coming through on the bottom. It's going to be 3 wide for the lead, but only 2 of them will be contending for the lead, and they're actually going to lose ground going into turn 3. Weishart going to keep it on the bottom, and he'll steer clear of the leader. For the moment is Brian Mercurio, because John Hall's to the inside. Peyton Howell is behind on the outside. Jonathan Evans is there, so is Zach Kerr. The top 5 all within half a second of each other as they go into turn 1.
And Jake Nichols started to fall back a little bit, and someone we haven't talked about all day, the 41, Justin Bolton. He is up to 6 now in that green and black number 41, up 3 on the day, but he's just been quiet through all these amazing battles we've seen, just laying low, but now he can't do that any further. He's in the thick of it, and that is what you call a high lane right there. Inch off the fence, get the run off the corner, drive down with a ton of momentum. Just watch that gap get lower and lower.
Some might say off the top rope, because that was how close he was.
Someone practice.
Through 3 and 4.
You put some of these together ahead of time. Don't admit it, Hunter. You had some of these ahead of time.
Yeah, it's all coming to me at some point. And in front of them in the wall was Zach Kerr in the 66. Saw the onboard there from Justin Bolton. He scraped the wall. Sparks were flying. And the 41 is all of a sudden now in the mix. He's been making up a lot of ground as well. You can see out the back of Peyton Howell that Mercurio's going to give him a bump. Almost sent him spinning, but to the outside, the 82 goes. To the inside goes Jonathan Evans. He's made his way inside the top 3, looking to take second away. Mercurio fighting back on the outside, and everybody else behind running the top of the racetrack.
And we just gotta point out the obvious now. This is what the Area Series is made of here. You have some of the best drivers on the iRacing service in one of the most difficult cars on the oval side of the service, and in one of the best tracks for racing, and this is what you get. This is the pinnacle of iRacing, is what we're seeing how. This is phenomenal racing by some of the best drivers we have, as Jonathan Evans, again, the pole sitter, who really didn't enjoy it for very long at all, because Peyton Howell took the lead from him right off the opening jump. But now long run speed, huge contact in the wall. Zach Kerr to the bottom is Justin Bolton. We'll check that out quickly on a replay.
Yeah, that was a pretty big hit, and Bolton was looking like he was about to make his way through, but the 66 all of a sudden just lost it coming out of the corner, or he might have come up on the 41.
Oh, yeah. 41 had enough momentum there. He shut the door on him, and unfortunately, made some wall contact, but fortunately, I don't think it was too cataclysmic. But Peyton Howell, again, he found his second life. Lost the lead to Mercurio, was battling with John Hall for quite some time, but now, super late run now, eclipsing lap 50 into the run, 54 to be specific. He's back to the race lead, and I don't know what the max run is on these drivers. I would imagine somewhere in the realm of 60 laps, but we are within distance to finish this thing out from here with a pit stop.
And Tim Pacioli is down pit road right now. We'll assume he's making a run at it. Steve Durham pitted about 9 laps ago. I think we're seeing more drivers come down pit road as we speak.
There's Hunter Sr. in, there's Donald Kite, and we'll just await our race leaders as here comes Jonathan Evans, ring around the outside here, and he will lead this lap and take the race lead. Now, in my opinion, for Peyton Howell, prime opportunity to pit this time by. You just lost the lead. You may as well try to do the undercut, as that's Justin Bolton breaking the bubble, running a little too high.
Yeah, rim ride there through 1 and 2 got a little bit too high, but yeah, we'll see what the leaders do, because they are approaching, they're 56 laps in on their run. Don't think any of them come down. Looks like one of them's going to try and slow down. I think that is John Hall.
John Hall, yep. And we will see, just in case anybody tries to overstay their welcome with the pit entry, we'll see a black flag icon pop up if anybody does break it. Alex Chilcutt, we talked about him far earlier in the show, but his late run speed was not there, but he will come to his pit crew. Lap number 78, 52 laps to go here in the Area WWE 200. Of course, you can always check out shop.areairacing.com. High quality merch at low prices from their new selection of t-shirts, hats, Adidas clothing, and other accessories. Shop.areairacing.com. Easy to ship, easy to shop, quicker to ship, better to wear. That is the Area iRacing shop. Zach Kerr looking to the outside. Justin Bolton here as Peyton Howell now back to 4th. And I think he's pulling a hard low. I think this is his lap.
This might be it. We come down to pit road, and looks like he's going to get it woed down, I would hope. It's very difficult, as mentioned. 20 degrees of banking down to pretty much none. I'll have some takers behind him. Philip Groner, and looks like a 609 car. I want to say that's Connor Horn.
Indeed the case here. And as we've talked about, this is the almost 2 seconds of fall off that these guys will be dealing with. And this is what will kind of help us cement how these drivers come back on track was what lap they pit on. And if they pit early, they're going to have a big lead, but they're going to be slow. If they pit late, they're going to have a gap to work through, but they're going to have better tires in the process. John Hall, 23rd right now. In relation to drivers around him, he is actually good. We'll just have to wait for scoring because everyone is bobbling around.
Back there just smacked the outside wall. I'm not sure who that was. It was behind the red car that was going into turn 1. It looked like a 609 car behind Brad.
Oh, is it maybe that driver who's dead sideways? That's that car, if that's the case.
Yeah, they smacked the wall in corner entry going into turn 1.
It's Garrett Conrath, my Lanta, well, that's a high lane. That's a high lane. That's a slide.
Whoa!
DJ my gosh. Stagner just Code Brown Amazon Prime boxer briefs there. But we will get sorted out. Garrett Conrath, he's been ripping the top all race, but maybe into the marbles that time.
Yeah, a little bit too much there as he got too close to the wall, and he almost got over the top rope along with Brian Mercurio in the 82 because that was close to disaster.
Yeah, Molly Hatchet, he was flirting with disaster there. James Scioli, now our leader.
Oh, yellow's out.
Yellow is out indeed. Trying to figure out where this came from. Getting cues. Garrett Conrath got a meatball flag. So perhaps something happened to him after we were done. I don't. We will wait for the admin call because I'm not seeing anything obvious here on the back end.
This is the 11 car.
The 11 car of Philip Groner. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. There you go. No. That's a wreck. 54. Okay. 11 came up into the 54. Didn't know they were 3 wide, or just maybe got a clear call.
Ryan Swan there in the 54. With the that doesn't work for me, brother. Yellow of the night, so less than 50 to go, and right in the middle of pit stops too. This changes everything because the top 5 had yet to make a pit stop. David Weissart 25 laps on his tires. Steve Durham 17 on his, and there's still a good bit of guys a lap down.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of wave arounds, and at a track like Las Vegas, a wave around is the worst case scenario because of the tire wear that we're seeing. They're going to have to stay out on varying laps of tires, and honestly, they're just going to have to hope and pray that another caution comes out to allow them to reset to the rest of the field. It's really a very difficult situation to be in because we're going to have, honestly, we're only going to have about 13 drivers, Hunter, actually behind the pace car, and then we're going to have about 2/3 of the field driving around full speed to try to get their lap back.
I think that is the free pass car being John Hall.
John Hall's the leader right now.
Ah.
So, yeah, John Hall, Timmy Pacioli, Justin Bolton, and Justin Opplinger did not pit. I don't know if they pit just before the caution. They pit a few laps before. Hall 6, Pacioli 9, Bolton and Opplinger 2. Everybody else obviously just pit, but then you go back to here, which is technically shown as second place right now. Or actually the leader, but 14th spot, Mercurio. He is the first person that pit before that is going to be a wave around, and now we'll be driving around the field trying to get that lap back. And there you can see that everyone passing that pace car, they need to yeet full song and try to get gathered back up before the field gets back around for the restart.
They do indeed need to yeet, and those can yeet on the WWE Superstars app. For those that aren't familiar with it, it's a strategy game where you match gems on a board to deal damage and charge up your superstar signature moves. Could be anyone from the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes to the final boss, The Rock, It could be Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, Roman Reigns, any of those guys. Whenever you sign up and download the app, make sure you use the exclusive promo code MANIA42, and you can get the following superstars at a 5-star bronze level, that being Cody Rhodes, John Cena, and Roman Reigns. Bring the unique, explosive WWE attitude aimed to entertain, lean into the character, personalities, and storylines behind the superstars to put a smile on your face and those of many in the app. So make sure you download it now. As the pace cars going to make their way down pit road, John Hall is the leader. Pacioli is to the outside, and it's a mumbo-jumbo mess behind him. So we'll get the green flag waving, and we'll get the race back going.
That large line of single-file cars that you see, those are all the wave arounds. So we'll see 12 drivers doing well, everybody else slightly older tires. But right now, John Hall is the leader of the race. Peyton Howell, you have to feel bad. He's back in 19th spot after leading well over 50 laps of this race. But here we go with the 3 wide. Garrett Conrad, remember, he got slideways off of 4, and now he is running in 6th spot, highest he's been all night, I believe.
Yeah, it was a big break for him and for the 7 of Scioli. That's one way to get back in the running. A lot of guys inside the top 10 haven't been up here today. DJ Stagner, Josh Adams, Jonathan Evans, we have seen him inside the top 10. Jake Nichols trying to do just that in the 73. Chilcutt in the 60.
He's a lap down.
80. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this is a really confusing Royal Rumble then.
Absolutely. That's what happened. I'm not sure what happened to Chilcutt, if he just got trapped or had a penalty, not quite sure, but either way, he'll hope for another caution and try to get that wave around. David Weishart working his way through. He's right behind Jonathan Evans. We already have someone in our YouTube audience here saying that he thinks this race has Jonathan Evans written all over it. Well, we got, 42 laps to go to come to fruition on that. But DJ Stagner, we haven't talked about him all night, but he is up there ripping the fence and now in the fence there. Apparently he didn't start today. He doesn't have a number, but he's running 5th, and now Justin Bolton. He had that long run pace on the prior run, but now we have a battle for the lead.
Indeed, Opplinger to the outside of John Hall and going to get close to that wall, but still has the lead, and going into 3, he'll clear the 24, so new leader Justin Opplinger with just over 40 laps to go. Going to be 41 when he crossed the stripe. Scioli and Stagner door-to-door for the 4th spot. Right behind them, coming through, is Justin Bolton in the 41. Garrett Conrad behind. Jonathan Evans, mentioned him, door-to-door with Weishart for the 8th spot.
And now we're just about 3 wide here. Weishart in the middle. Weishart getting loose through the Vegas bumps, and then just behind that, again, Jake Nichols. And Jake Nichols is also 1 lap down. Some of the drivers who did pit, and they were not able to get their laps back, and I think Jake Nichols may have pit instead of taking the wave around, choosing to keep the fresh tires on. I do believe that's why he is not on the lead lap, but he is the lucky dog driver if we so do get another caution. Of course, what did I just drop? I have no idea. But one thing that you can drop is you can drop yourself a link and then head to Blue Tip Pool Builders to bring your backyard to life this summer. Customize your pool to fit your unique standards and aesthetic. They have skilled craftsmen, high cutting-edge technology to bring your pool to life. If you don't have a pool, they can do outdoor spaces and dynamic lounging, outdoor kitchens, and more. BlueTipPools.com.
I like a bell ringing like the match has already begun.
I did a lot of computer work, and I have screws all over my desk, and I think I dropped one, but it does not matter because the robot vacuum will eat it up tomorrow, and then I'll have that be broken. But anyways, DJ Stagner, I don't have my air horn soundboard right now, but DJ is about to fall in love again. I think that's an Usher song. Looking to the outside of Pacioli, who's in 3rd. Again, highest Pacioli's been all night.
Yeah, coming through on the outside lane, trying to get a strong enough run to that 86, but yeah, unbelievable effort. We don't know where he started. He was probably the car missing from the starting lineup and on the scoring pylon earlier, but he's making the most of his time now as the yellow is back out with less than 40 to go.
So this will be great news for Jake Nichols and great news for all those wave around drivers, because they will be able to pit and get on the same tire sequence. He just got loose through the bumps. Zach Kerr to his outside and made contact. Came up the track into Zach Kerr here. You can see he's just struggling through the bumps. And struggled again. Unfortunately, there was a car there.
Looked like he did a moonsault off the top rope and landed awkwardly as he came down and into the inside wall. Caution is back out, and that does put Jake Nichols in the free pass position. So maybe there is a method to the madness from the 73.
Yeah, maybe not the intended method to the madness. Someone having some connectivity issues here. But Justin Opplinger will be our leader here. Now, just to put things into perspective, that was a 16-ish 10-lap run. Now, are you going to put another set of tires on? I think this is the third set for most drivers, I think. So they should still have one more, or this could be the final one. I've lost track, Hunter, but either way, there's at least one more set to put on, and I think most of them are choosing to.
It looks like it, as unless we have a late yellow with about 10 laps to go, this will be your last set of tires. And of course, we have some guys that chose to stay out. David Weishart, Brad Slaughter being those two. I think everybody else has come down pit run, and they're going to put on at least 2. I don't know if anyone's going to do 2 now, but I think everybody else will take 4.
Actually, I'm going to pause my thought there and think, which I know that's something that I don't like doing too often, but there was a caution around lap 10, I think, and most everybody pit then. And then we had that long stint, so that would be the next set. So this would actually be the third for most drivers. So I believe that they would still have a pseudo strategy set on the wall. Again, we don't have the back-end telemetry as to exactly what drivers do on their pit stops, so that is a guessing game for, you know, competitive integrity in the service. They don't want all the drivers on. iRacing doesn't want the drivers knowing exactly everything, because they could write apps and all that crazy back-end nonsense. So it does leave that up for interpretation there. But who do we have? That's Casey Lakatos. Remember, he led a lap earlier by having a different strategy of sorts, but he is the first car a lap down.
Yeah, so this will be uncharted waters for those with new tires, because both drivers in the front row are on 12-lap older tires. Weissar will be the control car, though, so that will be a benefit to those on the inside lane. But haven't really had to deal with guys with older tires in both lanes on the restarts in front. So it'll be a challenge for those in the back, and I would assume we'd see some more 2, 3, 4 wide action going through 1 and 2. This is a big benefit, though, for DJ Stagner looking at it, because he is needing a good run. He is 37th in the point standing, so top 10 effort here would put him higher up on the totem pole for the points side of things, but they'll have his work cut out for him, as Timmy Pacioli, Justin Opplinger, and John Hall, all with fresher tires in front of them. They've been up front for the most part tonight. Jonathan Evans, still one to watch out for. Skyoli Conrath and Justin Bowling rounding out the top 10.
Now, we saw in the Truck Series race on Tuesday when the comers and goers and the multiple strategies were at play. That is, as you saw, where the 3 and 4 wide racing and where a lot of cautions came. And as we always know, cautions breed cautions. Now it's money time. We are closing in on 30 to go, about to hit the century mark. 97 laps going on the board. And David Weishart will be the control car to the inside, Slaughter to the outside. 10-lap tires on their cars. Let's see how they blend in here with everybody behind.
And David did not really get a good jump like I thought he would. It's been an advantage for the leader, but older tires might do that. And to the inside of him is John Hall looking to get that lead. Brad Slaughter, though, with a run down the back. David's going to send it down low, try to cut off the dirty air, or clean air, give dirty air to the 24. Brad's going to be deep in trouble with 3 wide, almost losing it off of 4. So here comes the 96 of Opplinger, 2, 3 wide racing behind him, though. So they fan out into turn 1.
Now we have some bets on that 20. Oh, no! hard right-hand hook in the wall for Scioli. Big jump here.
By God, it's the big one at Las Vegas. I can't believe it. 4, 5, 6 cars piling up in it. It was just a big old slobber knocker going into turn 2. Scioli paid the price for it, though, head on into the outside wall.
A slobber knocker, I think that's the verbiage you used, is the best way to describe that. But yeah, Scioli, right-hand Dale hook into the fence, unfortunately. See, they were almost 4 wide, struggling through the bumps. Was Garrett Conrath, and then you just saw a lot more chaos ensue. DJ, kind of a double whammy there for Scioli. Get a tighter look at it. You can just see the 49 just got tight, just lost it through the bumps. And just further chaos coming through. DJ Stagner. This camera might show. I'll do one more look, see if this camera can provide any insights. Some of the other drivers, maybe AJ Stravado. Oh, Scioli just got ramped from the tail of his vehicle.
You got jackknifed over there on the exit of turn 2. A lot of cars involved. David Weishart somehow is still the leader. He's putting up a good fight against John Hall as we're approaching less than 30 laps to go here in Las Vegas. Pacioli in 3rd, Opplinger 4th, and Jonathan Evans in 5th. Brad Slaughter fell down to 6th on that restart, so field's going to get bunched back up, and we still got some takers coming down pit road who maybe now they'll put on their last set of tires, presumably.
Yeah, there won't be too much benefit to it, just because, I mean, even 2-3 laps is not going to amount to much, but Zach Kerr, he was involved. You can see the damage. Is that damage, or is that just a texture? I can't tell. I think that is damage to the front of that car. Scioli, again, obviously his day, not too happy with how it's turning out, but again, if you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe button here on PTR TV. Check out the game. Use that QR code when it comes up for WWE. And then again, if you're on Twitch, you can consider subscribing. $5 a month, get you the custom emotes, earn double points. You can redeem that for free merch from the shop area iRacing.com store. Next week is road racing week here in area. Both the Cup cars and the trucks will be at Sonoma Raceway. And we will head north to Oregon, or Oregon, take your pick, to the Portland International Raceway, which is a very, very narrow, winding racetrack, which will certainly test these drivers. I'm not sure, because I don't think I've ever covered an area road race, so we'll see who the cream of the crop is. But still have some business to sort out here in hot Vegas, in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how you would...
Hotlanta somehow came in.
Las Hotvas?
I mean, it's hot in Las Vegas, and the racing will spice up. We'll just bring up the weather as I do have to turn this graphic off momentarily so that we can bring the weather graphic back up. Track temp has gone down. It went, I think it was 104-ish, peaked at around 109, but now we are heading back in the lower direction, which, as we all know, a lower track temp means more grip. More grip means the Supermen come out to play.
Well, this will be a fun restart. David Weishart will be the control car again, but he'll have a car to his outside with fresher tires than him, instead of one with the same laps of tires, that being Brad Slaughter, because he's a couple rows back there. He'll be 6th on the outside lane, but in front of him, second car on the leaderboard, first on the outside lane, John Hall in the 24, one of the drivers to beat Justin Opplinger, making his way towards the front when it matters most. He'll be on the outside lane behind John Hall, and then to the inside it's Timmy Pacioli in the 86. As we're coming up on 29 laps to go, the 29 car will be the control car as the pace car dives down pit road once more. Green flag is going to be waving, and Weishart's going to lead the field back to green flag racing here at Las Vegas. 29 laps remaining.
Yep, well, he has the advantage. Now there's a heat cycle on those tires behind him. That may work to a little bit of an advantage. But John Hall has certainly been one of the players here in today's race, and Weishart struggling through the bumps, opens the door for the 24, and he will certainly take it with a vengeance. Should be an easy clear, and indeed it is.
And David's going to fall down to second. Here comes Pacioli in the 86 trying to take that spot away. Behind them, they're 3 wide for about the 10th position. Right behind Brad Slar, that's Jeff Wright, Justin Bolton, and the 97 is Zach Carr, who's making his way through to the top 10, actually. From the bottom to the top, going to shut the door. Brad is loose coming out of 2. Jeff Wright with the run. Travis Beckner coming through in the 27. And then to the inside there, we've got Justin Bolton and Connor Horn in the 67, all making their way towards the top 10.
Jeff Wright had that ultra high lane work in there. I think he actually used the right rear on the fence, kind of using the cushions in dirt racing terms there. But carries on. In fact, did hear from admin that they were talking about bringing a dirt racing series back here with Area. But they'll bug Jacob about it, see if he still has interest in doing that. But we still have some great racing. Evans, a lot of you want him to win this race. Well, he's got a little bit of work to do trying to get by Weishart, who's hanging on pretty well. But it's starting to fall through the cracks here. There goes Evans, opens the door for Opplinger. But Timmy Pacioli, second place now. About 3/10 off of John Hall. Last time by was a skosh slower, starting to drop back. But honestly, for Timmy, a top 10 is good for him. He just has not had a good first couple races of the season.
Yeah, Pacioli looking to get something going in the right direction. I'm trying to find where he was at in the points. He was 35th heading into this race in the point standings. So anything to better his 32nd place run from Homestead last week. Got contact made going into turn 1, not sure with who, but behind them, right outside the top 10, got AJ Stravato and Connor Horn duking it out for 13th. Stravato has been in the wall a couple of times tonight, and then coming through as well, the 73 of Jake Nichols. He pitted and is making his way back towards the front. He was a lap down, the yellow came out, he got the lucky dog. Now he's trying to find his way back towards the top 10.
I will say, and it's kind of opposite to what I think, but maybe it's because the speeds are higher now. We are now running laps faster than we qualified, or right around there, but drivers really starting to struggle more so with the bumps in 1 and 2. You know, that caused about 2 wrecks so far, drivers losing it over the bumps. And right now, we're forcing a 3 wide. Nichols right to the white line. Connor in the middle. Stravato to the top. Lucas Lodoto, he's been in the mix a lot here today. And then Zach Kerr just in arrears. But going back to the front, Pacioli, he was just 0.4 of a second back. Scratched 2 laps by. He cut that lead in half. I think he's found something in that middle lane.
And something seems to work for Pacioli in the 86. He's getting a better feel for that outside lane. Really testing the waters there in 3 and 4. Jonathan Evans in the 26 trying to close up enough ground in the 3rd spot. Opplinger and Peyton Howell round out the top 5. The front runners are trying to make their way back towards the leader of John Hall, trying to challenge him for the race with less than 25 laps to go.
Somebody else who hasn't really been up in the top 10 all race is Travis Beckner. He's hanging on for 9th right now, and I say hanging on because Justin bolted all over the rear deck lid of that Hendry County Camaro as the Autobelt Camaro, if I'm saying that correctly, that number 41 of Justin Bolton looking to the inside here is there's 3 wide again. Lucas Lodoto has just, I think he has been engaged in sandwich mode more than anybody here today. That's back in 16th, but again, Beckner hanging on there within the top 10. Going a little bit further back, and Alex Chilcutt, he was up front earlier. Brad Slaughter, I think he got bit by the strategy call. Sebastian Miller, haven't really talked about him. Who else is back there? 99 Jared Skinner. I don't think we've uttered that name here today, as we still have 26 on the lead lap.
Yeah, 21 laps remaining here from Las Vegas. Again, or actually 20 now. John Hall still holding off the 86 of Pacioli, but the top 5 or 6 are starting to close back up. See Jonathan Evans, Justin Opplinger closing in. Justin Bolton down low. Travis Beckner up high. This is for 9th on the racetrack. Jeff Wright right behind in the 48. AJ Stravato in the 77, not too far behind. Looking out the back of Justin Bolton, this is what you see. And then to the outside of him is Travis Beckner, but Wright's going to give him a shot. No, he'll go low, try to force him 3 wide, middle into 1.
Yes, he is. The shade coming over the track. That again adds the grip to it. Going up to second, and Jonathan Evans looking to the inside of Pacioli. But as we've noticed, that inside lane starting to struggle for passes. There's not enough momentum down there, bogging the car too far down. But they've brought now everybody into the mix. Peyton Howell in 4th. Again, he's led the most laps here today. I don't know the exact number. We'll check. 59 laps over, well, just about half the race, just under that. And he's now in the thick of it, along with Opplinger. And now we're going to have 5 cars going for the win, sub 20 to go.
Well, it could be 6 if that Mercurio machine can rally up enough strength to get back up. It's been an eventful one here in Las Vegas. Had our fair share of yellows. And, well, speaking of that, the yellow's back out with 18 to go. In case you missed it, we'll get you one more here. I'm not sure where on the racetrack. Oh, it's a 60 of Alex Chilcutt down on the apron.
Well, we'll check out another instant replay here and sort it out. That is Weishart. That is Zach Kerr. 3. Oh, did Zach? He came down. Not sure. Again, a lot of the wrecks we've seen, Hunter, have been 3 wide, which sounds obvious.
Holy cow! There were a heaping gaggle of cars that were right in the middle of that. I'm not sure if anyone else got a piece of it, but...
Oh, my goodness. Who was that white car that had probably the scariest view yet? Not that one. It's the 31 car.
Steve Durham.
Yeah, we got to get a look from his perspective here because we talked about Amazon Prime overnight boxers there. I mean, first off, he's in the middle of 3 wide right now. He's going through his own situation. And just watch this kind of unfold. They're 3 wide. There's the wreck. And just watch. All right, he's good. He's good. Oh, whoa, whoa. Woohoo!
Yeah, that 60 of Chilcutt took a awkward bounce back around the racetrack, so...
John Hall
got some
in the
pit stops
pits.
going on.
This is the strategy set, as we talked about. And the guy we just talked about, Steve Durham, I think he must feel like Superman after that decision, after that pit evasion. He's going to stay out. John Hall will exit the pits first. We'll go over a little bit of strategy. Jake Nichols will come out 3rd right now, but however, Jake Nichols only took 2 tires.
Yeah, 15-lap old tires for Steve Durham, so he'll be at a disadvantage. But again, he'll be in position to control the restart, so he'll have that to his advantage. But John Hall coming out of pit road, Jake Nichols, what do you think, 2?
Yep,
2 tires?
absolutely. And then you can see 14 and everybody else in the 14. So that is the Lone Ranger to make that call. And the old racing adage, the old racing kind of default situation, as they say, when you take 2 tires, usually your car is freer, your car is looser, oversteer, depends, whatever you want to call it. We've already seen oversteer, we've already seen looseness be the default here today, Hunter. So Jake's might have to be on the wheel even more so.
Yeah, he'll have to go through some battles as Steve Durham's going to choose that. Steve Durham, he's going to choose the outside lane. Interesting strategy. He will be the control car, but I don't believe we've seen the leader at all this weekend. I could be wrong. I wasn't here for the truck race, but I don't think anyone's restarted as the leader on the outside lane.
First off, I want to appreciate you were trying so hard to tie in WWE to that I could taste it. I could smell it, but and I could smell it. I don't know what The Rock was cooking. I know that's about 25 years old. But yeah, I don't think we've ever seen anyone choose the outside. Now, that could be one of 2 things. A, he is just going to pull out of the way and let him go, which if that's the case, I don't know why he would have stayed out. Or B, maybe he just feels like there's more grip up there. But we'll find out. John Hall, I think he's going to be licking his chops, though. As long as he can get a good restart, he's going to be out and going. And then, of course, right behind them, Jake Nichols. Not quite a statistical last to first challenge, but in effect, it's going to feel like it if he could pull this off.
Yeah, we'll have 14 laps when they cross the stripe to settle this one. Steve Durham's going to be the control car on the outside lane. I'm not really sure what this is going to entail, but big eyes on the 24 Jonathan Evans, because if that 31 does not go, that lead will be all Hall, but he does go, and we have 14 laps remaining.
But now he has to turn, which is the difficult part on the older tires. John Hall will be able to use all of the freshness of the tires, and he will take the lead with relative ease. And now, here is the interesting part, or not.
All the yellow's back out. Okay. Survey says.
Nothing blatantly obvious. Just kind of scroll through the field here on replay, see if anything stands out. .113, so we're getting a call for, no, that was lap 113. I'm not seeing anything, but we'll, sure admin will come up with something, but nothing blatantly obvious came across my side there.
Do you think it was the 66 of Zach Kerr, or was he already on pit road?
I think he was already on pit road. We'll wait to see, though. Actually, he's pulled it to the... Yeah, he's been on the pits for 5 minutes now, so he would have been in for a little bit. The only other thing I have is David Weishart, who received a meatball flag. So again, forgive me, folks. Okay, it was David. It was subtle, but it was... Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, wow.
So the fact, yeah, he straightened it out so quickly. That's why it didn't ring a bell to me. Lucas Lodoto in the middle there. Brad Slaughter to the inside. 3 cars. They definitely did not know they were 3 wide. But yeah, the 29 got a meatball out of that. He was forced for required repairs to the pits, which seems very ticky-tack in that wreck, but could have been some suspension or wheel damage or whatever it is. Racing safety control here said it was too dangerous and that car needed to get fixed.
All right, well, I think we just now got confirmation about it.
Racing incident from the top, so. But now we head into, we'll be 10 laps to go in our race recap here today. This race, it's had a decent amount of yellows, but all in all, it's felt like a really, really good race here. I don't feel like playing the game. Let's just play it out. How many cautions? 7. That's about what I expected. John Hall, fastest car of the race at a 30.53. And we've had 1 set of green flag stops. And we have seen surges of some of the best racing that area has had in 2026. So hopefully that comes together with a phenomenal finish as we saw on Tuesday night.
Yeah, we'll have a 10-lap dash whenever this one gets back underway. John Hall will be the control car this time. Steve Durham still scored second with older tires on the outside lane, so this will be a prime opportunity for John Hall to get a good restart and to try to drive away from Jake Nichols and Jonathan Evans.
He's going to certainly have to case, and we'll see how that 31 will hang on in there. But then you watch back, you see Brian Mercurio. I'm pretty sure he was bit by that caution sequence where he was pitting in a lap down, but he's in 10th. I mean, don't write him out. They're going to be 3-4 wide. They're going to go crazy. Never count out that 82, even though he's in 8th. He could at least pull a top 5 out of this. And we do have some other heavy hitters here in the field. But now coming to 10 laps to go. Peyton Howell trying to redeem what has probably feel like got taken away from him. Led over 50 laps, but once he lost it, control of the race, hasn't been able to get it back. But John Hall, Steve Durham going to take this thing from the front row. The WWE 200 now, 10 laps to go. And huge jump from Hall. Steve was sleeping, and that's going to back things up.
Yeah, that was a unfortunate time. Oh my gosh, there they go! Car out into the outside wall, and they're wrecking big going into turn one. Caution's back out.
Yeah, you saw Garrett Conrath in the 49. I mean, I kind of knew something was going to happen. You saw how bad that restart was, and I kind of knew something was going to happen, and it did. We'll check it out here on the replay. You can just see, watch that 31 on the outside lane really just go nowhere, and that's what stacked him up. And now Garrett Conrath, 97 checkup, and then it came to him in the 41 of Justin Bolton. 19 with some contact, 56. But also, again, Justin Bolton might have got some front-end damage to that. I hit the 67 of Connor Horn as well. Yeah, a little left front damage to Justin Bolton, and at this point, you kind of just have to race through it.
Yeah, that was a bad one. It's just going to be more optimal for John Hall because less laps ran, less opportunities for those behind to try and outpace him and outpass him, I should say. Jake Nichols, phenomenal effort nonetheless, up 35 spots as the start of this one. Pacioli up 20. Jonathan Evans down 3 from his pole position. And then Justin Opplinger plus 14, Steve Durham plus 35, although with older tires, not sure that will stand. Howell and Mercurio down a few positions. Zach Carr up 9, actually up 2 in the 9th spot. And Jeff Wright up 10 spots in 10th.
That's Nico Servideo, another name I don't think we've said since the opening starting grid, down in 25th. And Forrest Smith, haven't talked about him at all. I'm just going through the pylon, seeing names we haven't talked about. He was the one that just about won that race on Tuesday night in the Truck Series. Go back and watch the end of that. Don't watch the beginning. Watch the end of that race. He did a phenomenal job there. Missed it by about, I think it was 100th of a second or so. John Hall trying to hold this thing off. And again, as you've said, Jake Nichols, we don't know what he can really do in the clean air. I mean, we know what he's made of. We know what his capability is, Hunter. But in this race, he's never had this much clean air on the 73. He'll have to learn how to hot lap real quick here. But I know he can find it out how to do it.
Yeah, I would assume so. Never can count out Jake Nichols in any scenario whatsoever. So him being second on the outside, it will be a little bit of a challenge, but he might have something up his sleeve to get around that 24. We'll have, I believe, 6 laps to go whenever we do go back green, so we're flirting real close with the overtime possibility. Haven't had that yet here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Latest yellow we've had, we've already eclipsed that, that being 13 to go back in Season 5. We had one with 10 to go just now. I'd say we're well under our average for class caution, that being 85 to go, so there is that. Also interesting to point out, the winner from this race has never come from anywhere outside the first 2 rows, and looking at it, John Hall, Jake Nichols, Pacioli, they have all come from outside the first 2 rows. Jonathan Evans started on pole, so Evans looking to keep that streak of front 2-row winners alive, but John Hall and Jake Nichols looking to rewrite history at Las Vegas.
Gonna rewrite history, and I think we've certainly eclipsed, probably, I imagine, is the race record for cautions here. This will be the 8th, as this has been a caution-filled 2026 here, but we've still seen some great racing, and I expect ourselves to find a great finish here in the WWE 200. John Hall into the restart box. Jake Nichols to the outside. Who will get the jump? I am assuming it's going to be the 24, and he will. Nichols wants to clear down to the bottom, but now you're going to have Pacioli trying to fill the gap, and they're spreading out behind.
6 laps to go, and 3x3 moves are being made. Steve Durham on the outside, Mercurio to the inside there, and Durham going to get real close to the wall, almost coming down on some cars there. But Everyone gets through for the most part. Zach Carr in the 97 making his way through. Pacioli to the inside of Jake Nichols for second. Meanwhile, John Hall looking to drive away from it all. 3 car lengths separating him in second place with 5 laps to go.
Remember, if we get to the white, we will finish this thing unconditionally, but otherwise 3 green-white checkers in the bank. We used all of them on Tuesday night, but these guys for second, if they want any chance at it, they got to figure out this real quick as we nearly have a wreck back there. I saw the 54 going all the way down. Ryan Swan trying to evade an incident, and they did just that. But they are holding each other up there, Hunter, as the caution is out, and we will have the first ever Las Vegas overtime. Donald Kite.
Yeah, that is a thing that will be rewritten in the history books. Holy cannoli, the 2 just lost it. Jeremy Miller hit him hard into the outside wall. I mean, cars are everywhere back there, but all it takes is 1, and the yellow came out for that, so we'll have an overtime finish.
What in the heck?
Oh, that is Joseph Swan in the 56. That they were having a little bit of a wrestling match back there.
So that, all right, let's just go back and unwind. Let's go the tail behind the belt here, or something like that. A little contact, a little arrow loose, maybe a smidgen of contact. All right, I don't like that. All right, I don't like that. Perfect for the WWE 200, not perfect for an admin perspective.
Yeah, they can take it out back and sell it in a wrestling ring, and then Jeremy Miller there, kind of a innocent bystander and all that, but some discussions might be had afterwards, whether that's with words or with fisticuffs and all that in between, but we will have an overtime finish, and that puts the 24 of John Hall in prime position to win it. Pacioli in second, Jake Nichols third, Evans fourth, and Opplinger now rounds out the top 5.
And who was that? Someone going to be getting a lap back here, top of the shot. Drew Farna. Yeah, he's gotten multiple back, and I think he'll finally actually get on the lead lap here as we head into our first overtime finish. Now, as I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted by that wreck, Nichols and Pacioli, them running side by side, they were basically parachuting themselves. They were slowing themselves down so much, allowing John Hall to ride off into the distance here. So now this is another opportunity, and it's going to be Jake Nichols to the inside, and this might be the best thing for Jake Nichols, because if he times it, Hunter, with John Hall, he might be able to clear Pacioli and give himself some kind of a fighting chance.
Yeah, it's all about timing, because that inside line, the control car they time it so early, and it catches them off guard to where they're 2 car lengths out by the time they get to the start-finish line. So it's going to come down to timing on the restart and not doing too much to put yourself in a position where you get penalized for a restart violation.
You also don't want to get penalized in post-race and heading into next week at Portland, which a couple drivers may have issues with that. Of course, getting penalized into a road course with no cautions is basically you're never going to recover from that. So we'll see how that stacks up after that little skirmish, to say it nicely. But we are now on lap 129, so heading into our first and hopefully only green-white checker here in the WWE 200. Again, if you have not done so yet, screenshot that QR code. Go to the website, download the game, go ahead and start playing it, and you will A, have fun, and B, you will help the channel out as well, help the league out more so. And we've already gotten a couple, I think, sign-ups here. I think there was at 3 downloads last I checked, so appreciate those who have helped the league out with downloading that WWE game. But it's money time. In the home of casinos, who is going to get that jackpot, Hunter?
Oh, it's looking like John Hall might be the lucky winner here. Looking to give a stunner on the field on the night. Pacioli looking to rock bottom his way through. And then Jake Nichols trying to give an AA to those 2 in front of him. We'll figure it out after 2 laps, bare minimum. Pace car pulls on the pit road. John Hall going to bring the field back to green flag racing here at Las Vegas.
And there is that jump that he needs. P2 of Pacioli falls back to another side-by-side battle with Jake Nichols, but a good push from Jonathan Evans. That may be enough to send Pacioli through. It will not. They'll drive off into the corner. 3 wide. Peyton Howell squeezing it underneath Jonathan Evans.
And they're tight from second on back. John Hall is driving away with it. They're door-to-door, 3 wide up here for the top 5, in the back for the top 10, and then some. Cars are sliding up now through turn 4. Oh, we got a car in the wall back there, but the white flag's waving. No one's wrecking. We're going to have a finish, and now they're wrecking across the stripe. Massive wreck coming through, but it's not going to matter. This race is official. And John Hall just 2 turns away from winning in Las Vegas.
Pacioli closing in. He's 1/10 back. He's right to the back bumper, but unfortunately, there's not going to be enough time. Peyton Howell with the dive to the bottom, but John Hall will protect the bottom. He's been up front all race. He's been battling, but he's going to hit the jackpot. He's going to make the WWE 200 his. John Hall wins at Vegas. And we're still wrecking.
AJ Stravano in the 77 going for a spin, but Lucas Lodoto I saw spin hard, and quite a bit of drivers were collected in that one, coming to the white flag, but nonetheless, John Hall wins. Pacioli second, Payne Howell third. We'll get a word from all 3 of those guys in a minute, but solid
this is the
showing
white flag here, where we had, I want to try to see who wrecked coming to the white. That was AJ Stravado. But we did have another wreck, a massive one, just as we took the white flag here that I do want to check out before we get into our post-race show. I'm sure some people will be curious.
Steve Durham and Lucas Lodato just in front of them here.
Yeah, Lucas Lodato, and you can see there in the back. And then we saw that wreck with AJ Stravado. That was coming to the white, but again, it was after the white was out, so obviously it does not affect the end of our race. But there's John Hall doing his celebratory donuts here in the WWE 200. He led himself a good bit of laps. He was making some good moves, 35 of them. Most importantly, he led lap 131, which was the magic ticket. But let's go down and start our post-race show, give you the final rundown of results here today from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Final margin of victory, 1/10 of a second. John Hall over Timmy Pacioli. Peyton Howell with a third. Jonathan Evans in fourth. Jake Nichols, not quite the win, but near last to up to top 5. Jeff Wright, Justin Alpinger, Zach Carr, Connor Horn, and Brian Mercurio, the top 10.
Rounding out the top 10 is Brad Slaughter with a solid 11th place finish. Stravado 12th, Ryan Swan 13th, Travis Becker 14th, Forrest Smith 15th, and Jared Skinner, Hunter Sr., Casey Licata, Steve Durham, and Sebastian Miller rounding out the top 20.
From 21st to 30th, Drew Farnaz, Alex Chilka, Lucas Lodoto. He was hit everything but the jackpot. He was in the middle of a lot of situations. Justin Bolton, he ran way better than that position will show. Nico Servideo, Josh Paris, Jeremy Miller, Joseph Swan, Josh Adams, and Alan Elwood, and we'll let the rest scroll on through. Garrett Conrath, he was involved in some instance. David Weishart, we saw what happened to him. Scioli, massive impact to the fence there. And then the last 2 here on the board at Vegas. But we will head ourselves down to Vegas Victory Lane. Hunter has ran through into the grass and has met up with Mr. John Hall.
Yeah, dominating performance tonight from you, John. Your first win of the season, the first to dethrone Sebastian Marin. Take us through your thoughts on the race at hand in Las Vegas, because it seemed like for a while there it was wild to say the least and very chaotic, but you were able to get yourself in a good spot in the end.
Yeah, it was chaotic, yeah, for sure. That first long run we had there to start the race was really fun. I had a lot of fun racing Peyton, Brian, Jonathan Evans, and everybody else that started making their way towards us at the end right before that pit cycle. But I was hoping that went green, because that was, like I said, a ton of fun moving around all over the place. But yeah, got lucky there with the yellow at the end, or that yellow in the middle of the pit cycle, and that just kind of set us up in a really good spot to kind of control the race from the end there. And once I got the lead, I was just like, all right, got to get good restarts, don't let them time you, and then we should be able to hold on to this thing. So yeah, super stoked to dethrone Seb. That's only because he wasn't in the field, I will say, but you know what, I'll take it.
A solid night for your team as well. VV Racing, 3 of those guys inside the top 10. What does that do as a confidence for the team heading into a place next week like Portland, a track with unknown territory for all in the area?
Oh yeah, it's good to know that we're clicking on the ovals for sure. It's good to pad the points a little bit on the team side because it's going to be a wild card with Portland of who's good, who's not. I know Zach's really good at the road courses, so he'll be somebody to watch for sure. I'm just going to hopefully try to stay out of harm's way the entire race. But yeah, it's definitely unpredictable going into next week, but looking forward to it.
All right, well, we'll catch you next week in Portland. Congrats on the win as you move higher up in the point standings. Don't know what it's going to be. It hasn't updated yet, but I would assume you're going to be near the front 3 in the point standings. John Hall with the win tonight. Congrats, John.
Thank you. God, I hope so.
All right, now second place, Timmy Pacioli. Well, Timmy, you finally got some semblance of good luck to start off 2026, and you were side by side with Peyton Howell at the end. I know you guys couldn't really clear, didn't give yourself any chance to get to John Hall until very late, but how does it feel just to finish one of these things, first of all?
Oh, it feels real nice. Yeah, like you guys said, it's been a tough go to start the season. We haven't finished inside the top 30 yet, so it's looks like it's going to be another one of those seasons where it's feast or famine. So, but it just felt good to get up front. I lucked out with that pit cycle caution, and just was able to hold that track position all the way to the end there.
As you said, it's been a terrible start, but it gives you some momentum, and I know it's going to be kind of hard to take that momentum from here and translate it to next week because our West Coast swing heads up to Oregon for the Portland road course. What kind of road racer are you in? Is the momentum going to continue, or is it going to hard freeze?
I'd say I'm average at best. I did buy the track a couple weeks ago, and I have been kind of doing laps in my free time, so I'm feeling pretty good about it, but we'll just have to see. If I can come out of there with the top 10, I'd consider that keeping the momentum going.
Well, hopefully that's going to be the case for you. I know you really haven't had a chance to give any shout-outs or thanks this season, so open the floor for you.
I got a list, so get ready. But just want to shout out all the guys at Coast to Coast Racing. We were a little short-staffed tonight. We were missing Jake and Jonathan Taylor, but me and Brian were able to hold through. Gabe got caught up in a wreck, so just want to shout out them. What's on Tap, Chinshore Electric, Danis Utilities, Morass.live, Far Filaments, Paul Foddy Racing, ShopPrestonPartis.com, Sebeka Bail Bonds, Outlaw Light, and Lockdown. So those guys help us get out here on the track, and I'm glad I was able to finally provide a good run for them.
All right. Well, yeah, you did a great job here today, Timmy, and we'll see if you can keep it on the flat top next week. I'm sure you'll do great.
That's the goal. Thank you, guys.
And to wrap up the podium, led over 50 laps today, but has to settle for a third. Hunters with Peyton Howell.
Yeah, the only driver, actually, scratch that. That was bad. But you, along with Jake Nichols-Payton, are the only drivers to finish inside the top 5 in all 3 races. A third at Daytona, 4th at Homestead, and another third here in Las Vegas. Take us through your thoughts on the race. You led the most laps with 59 laps, but ultimately there was a lot of things that changed over the course of the race. So take us through your thoughts on your podium night.
Well, real quick, my heart is racing after that green white checkered. That was something there. That first run that we had with me, Mercurio, and John was a lot of fun. Like, we were all sliding and just trying to take the airway off of each other, and yeah, that's a lot of fun. And that unlucky caution that happened right to my outside during the pit cycle was kind of put us behind the 8 ball, and just had to pick the right line on the restart and got us back up in a good position. And there on the final restart, Jonathan left the middle open, and I just took it and hoped that it rolled, and it rolled just enough for me to get the third. So we'll take that after restarting like 24th or wherever I restarted with like 50 to go.
Yeah, I mentioned it with John, you and him, as well as Justin Opplinger, top 10 for all 3 of you tonight, but you're also top 5 in the point standings, all 3 of you. So take us through your thoughts on what that looks like as a team aspect as you're heading into Portland with unknown territory for all of us here in the area.
I mean, I think all the guys at OVB are doing a great job. Zach's having a couple like unlucky races, but he'll go kick our teeth in next week at Portland, so that'll be fun. Just trying to chase him. Yeah, everybody at OVB is doing a great job, and I can't thank Timothy enough for letting me race and be teammates with these guys. Just means a lot to be able to run up front and have some good showings and be in the fight every week.
All right, well, you are now only 2 points behind Jake Nichols in the points lead. Congrats on the podium, and good luck on next week in Portland. I know it's going to be a challenge for all of us out there.
Yes, sir. Real quick, can I thank WD Racing with Wyatt Dolan? He's one of my buddies, and he wanted to sponsor, and we let him on, and I just got to thank him for so much that he's done for me, as well as the Snowman Studios painting stuff that he does. And then I got to thank Icon Apparel and Scott and all them for hopping on board for the season, as well as Unrivaled Innovations and Timothy and Zach, Justin, John, and just all of those guys for helping out every week, and y'all for putting on the broadcast, and Jacob and them for running this league.
Absolutely. Well, great job here today, Peyton, and we'll see what you can do next week at Portland. Good job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, well, that'll wrap things up here today from Vegas. I mean, we had some stretches of chaos, Hunter. We had some stretches of some of the best racing I've seen on the iRacing service in years. How do you summarize tonight's WWE 200?
Well, it was a slobber knocker, to say the least. We had some great racing, some beating and banging, some guys wrecking, and tempers flaring, and they could take it out back in the wrestling ring and try to figure that out. We are in Las Vegas after all, and that is where WrestleMania will be held this weekend. Make sure you download the WWE Superstar app, and make sure to use code MANIA42 to get Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and have a lot of fun with the app. It's going to be a blast, and looking forward to everything that goes on this weekend.
Absolutely. Should be fun. Go check out that app. Like, share, comment, subscribe here on PTR TV. Like and subscribe and follow on the Twitch page, $5 a month. We will be live next on Sunday with our Triple Bypass Cup Series, their season finale at Kansas, and then we will be road racing for the week with Area right here on PTR TV, your exclusive home for Area in 2026. But that's going to be Corey and Hunter signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.